Okay, I'm going to do some problems involving the quotient rules, and then one problem for the next batch after the quotient rules, which are pretty simple mathematical manipulations using both rules, and then a little plug-in extra at the end. So let's take a look on page 126, problem number 7. And we're given here that the f of x, the function here, is x over x squared plus 1. So we're trying to find f prime of x as the limit approaches 0 for this. So what we're going to do then is the quotient rule says that we take this x squared plus 1 times the derivative of this, and the derivative of x is 1, minus, and then now we put x, and then the derivative of x squared is 2x, and 1 is constant, so they just leave it like that. And then the denominator becomes the square of the original denominator. And so it's now just a matter of simplifying the numerator. X squared plus 1 minus x times 2x is 2x squared over x squared plus 1 quantity squared. And then combine the x squared and the negative 2x squared, you get 1 minus x squared over x squared plus 1. So that's number 7. Not too bad. Three, two, one. Okay, the next problem here is number 9, and this is what we're given here. But we have to change that cube root of x into an exponential representation. So that's the 1/3 power, and we leave the denominator as it is. And so we find the derivative of h of x. And so this is going to be x cubed plus 1 on top times the derivative of x to the 1/3 power, so the 1/3 goes in front, multiplied by the imaginary 1 that we have there, which is 1/3, times x, and we subtract 1 here, which is 3/3. 1/3 minus 3/3 is a negative 2/3, minus, and now we put x to the 1/3 here, times the derivative of x cubed plus 1. So the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared, and 1 drops out. And we put all that over x cubed plus 1 quantity squared. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and multiply I'm going to multiply, well, I'm going to get rid of my negative 2/3 exponent right here. So I'm going to multiply by x to the positive 2/3, get rid of the negative 2/3 power. Remember, we're trying to get rid of all fractions in within the fraction and any negative exponents. So I'm trying to get rid of this, so that means I'm going to multiply both parts of this by x to the 2/3 power, and this denominator by x to the 2/3 power. So when I do that, this is going to give me x cubed plus 1. And then x to the 2/3 times x to the negative 2/3 is 1. That's why we do that. So that's going to be 1/3 right here. Minus, then x to the 2/3 times x to the 1/3 is x to the first. So this becomes x times 3x squared over the whole thing over x cubed plus 1 quantity squared. All right, so now the next issue is to get rid of this 1/3 here. You can't have a fraction of a fraction. So that means I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom parts of the fraction by 3. So I'm going to distribute the 3 across both of these, get rid of that 1/3, and the 3 will be part of this denominator now. So 3 times 1/3 is 1, so that's just going to be x cubed plus 1 minus, and then I'm going to multiply 3 times x times 3x squared over, and then 3 times quantity x cubed plus 1 quantity squared. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and let's go ahead and resolve that over there. And that's going to give me, I'll get rid of the parentheses here because I don't need it anymore. X cubed plus 1 for that. And negative 3x times 3x squared is a negative 9x cubed over 3 times x cubed plus 1 quantity squared. Now I'm going to combine like terms, the x cubed and the negative 9x cubed. This is going to give 1 minus 8x cubed over 3 times x cubed plus 1 quantity squared. And there's our final value without a negative exponent and without a fraction in the fraction. Okay? Number 11. Number 11 is a nice little trigonometric function here. So let's take a look at that. G of x is equal to sine of x over x squared. So we find g prime of x. So we take the x squared and put that on top. Multiply by the derivative of sine of x, which is cosine x, minus, because it's division. We now put the sine of x in front, times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x, over, and then you got to be careful on this one, the x squared has to be squared. So we'll just write it like that for now, and then we'll fix it in the next part. Well, this becomes x squared times cosine x minus 2x times the sine of x. We have no fractions, we have no negative exponents, and we have no way of adding the two together, so the numerator is fine that way. And then take x squared to the second power, and if you recall from the rules of exponents, when you take the power of a power, you multiply the two exponents, and that is x to the fourth. And ladies and germs, that is your answer. All right, so now let's take a look at number 13 on page 126. And this is not too bad. We're given f of x equals x cubed minus 3x times the quantity 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. Now, if you want to FOIL that out and then go ahead and find the derivative of that, that's fine. You can do that. If you're really good at FOILing, it might save you a little grief. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and use the power rule since that's pretty much one of the two topics we're talking about this week. So, this is going to be x cubed minus 3x. Oh, this is f prime of x, by the way. X cubed minus 3x times the derivative of this, which is 4x plus 3, and the 5 drops out, plus, because we're multiplying, this will be a plus instead of a minus like we did before. And this will be 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. And then the derivative of this is 3x squared. And the derivative of that is negative 3. So guess what? We're going to FOIL twice now. So I guess it probably would have been easier just to go ahead and FOIL that right off the bat. And you can certainly do that. It's within your rights to do that. But like I said, we're just doing this because of the power rule to show how that works. But it is a tool, not necessarily a necessity. So Keep that in mind. So x cubed times 4x is 4x to the fourth. X cubed times 3 is 3x cubed. Negative 3x times 4x is negative 12x squared. Negative 3x times 3 is negative 9. And plus, so I don't have to worry about changing the signs, just go ahead and put the answers right out there. 2x squared times 3x squared is 6x to the fourth. 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. 3x times 3x squared is 9x cubed. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. 5 times 3x squared is 15x squared. And 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Yikes! So all we have to do now is just combine like terms. And if you do that, you should end up with 10x to the fourth plus 12x cubed minus 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 18x minus 15. Just cutting out a few minutes of just showing where everything goes. I think you can handle that on your own. Now the next thing they say is, what is f prime of c? Well, this is simply telling you to replace every x with a c. So I don't know if I can do this. So 10c squared to the fourth plus 12c cubed minus 3c squared minus 18c minus 15. Woo! And then finally they say, what is f prime of 0? In other words, what is the slope at the curve where your value of c turns out to be 0? Well, this becomes 10 times 0 to the fourth power plus 12 times 0 to the third power minus 3 times 0 to the second power minus 18 times 0 minus 15. These all cancel out. So the answer for f prime of 0 is negative 15. So that's how we want you to do those problems. Your assignment is page 126, problems 8 through 18.